Hey everybody, it's Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog. Today I am actually doing a live video, or not a voiced over video, because I want to share with you guys a new paint palette I picked up, and I wanted to kind of get this video done before I headed out of town. So let's go ahead and get started. I am doing a watercoloring class, and it is called the Watercolor Summit. It's only offered, I believe, twice a year, and I decided to take the plunge and do this watercolor summit. I have really been into watercoloring a lot, and I wanted to try out a cheaper, or should I say more inexpensive, paint palette that I saw on Amazon. Now, I'm a huge lover of Daniel Smith paint, and that is professional grade paint. However, sometimes I don't want to carry that expensive paint with me in fear that my luggage will get stolen or something will happen, and it's just too expensive to lose that paint. So I ended up picking up this one off of Amazon. There's no real company name on this. It just says pretty excellent. I will put a link below telling you or sharing the link of where I got this off of Amazon. But I did have a chance to play with this, and I want to just tell you that first, it's a pretty decent paint palette to carry with you. You're allowed to get a lot of gradient colors from this. I will not say this is professional paint, just in my opinion. It just doesn't seem to work as well as some of the other brands I have used. The first thing I loved was the casing. I love this teal case. I like anything that has color, that's just not black and white. So when I first saw this, I just loved the casing. So I went ahead and I had a chance to play with these. And within the packaging, you're just going to get this little card, which I cannot read because it is not in English. But it does give you the colors here, but it also provides you with a little swatch that you can actually swatch out the colors. Now, the first thing I noticed about this, the colors are very, very bright, which I love. I absolutely love this. And I went ahead, once I got this palette, as part of my homework in the course, I went ahead and swatched out all of the colors. They are incredibly beautiful, very, very bright colors. And there was a good assortment of colors in this color palette, which I did enjoy as well. So we have, you know, some of these colors here, and we also have a purple one somewhere. I think I misplaced it. Oh, no, the purples are right here at the bottom. And I went ahead and I labeled them all out, wrote what the names were, and then I also put what paper. So I was using Strathmore 140 pound 300 series paper for this. And I would have to say I love the vibrancy and I love the color variations. Now, also as part of my homework, I ended up doing a color swatch of all the warm colors. So obviously this is not the best color swatch, but I just needed to get the colors out. And just out of the warm colors, which is really up to here. So I went from 346 down to 502. And this was the color palette I was able to create just out of that limited amount of paint, which I thought was perfect. I will be doing cool colors when I get back, but I thought this was a great starting point to show how I can mix the colors and how many colors I can end up with. The only downsides I had, and it's probably just me, I needed to have the numbers, the coordinating numbers. So like this is lemon yellow, but the coordinating number is 346. I needed to have those written. So I knew when I was doing this swatch what color I was mixing it with. Other than that, and I'm pretty sure once I start making more color charts, I probably won't need this here. But for my benefit, I went ahead and I placed down my numbers just with a Sharpie, which is a permanent marker. The case comes sealed with just this little plastic on top of it, and it also comes with a brush. Now, I will say I did not use the brush as I use my silver black velvet brushes to do this palette. But when I did this one, I just used regular paintbrush with water. For today, I thought I would show you the watercolor brush that comes with it, and then we'll swatch out some of the colors so you can actually see them as they work on the paper. This here is just Strathmore watercolor paper. This is the yellow packaging per se. It's the 300 series. So I thought I would share with you guys exactly what these colors look like. And like I said, I am going to actually travel with this set this week. And I thought it would be just something easy I can pick up and go with without taking my more expensive paints. So let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, within your packaging, you're going to get, now mind you, in the packaging, this is all blank. I color swatched this myself just to see the colors. But if you happen to buy this palette, this is going to be blank. You're going to fill this in on your own. Let me also very quickly just grab one of my watercolor cloths, and this is really just to clean off anytime I'm watercoloring. I just keep this rag to just clean off stuff. And I also keep on my desk a water bottle. Sometimes I might just want to rinse this off on my mat, and this just cleans it up. Okay, so this water brush does keep the water within the barrel, so it is kind of handy, and I plan on doing a little bit of practice watercoloring on the plane, so this will be a perfect little grab and go for me. So I'm not actually going to do the white because it's really not going to show up on this paper, so I'm just going to start with the lemon yellow. The only thing I have a hard time with these pre-made palettes is like once I run out of a color, I'm pretty much done. You know, I'm not going to be able to fill that color back up. So that's the only downsides, I guess I would say, to using these pre-filled ones compared to if you had a tube and you made your own palette. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to start swatching out these colors. And I think I will zoom in just a little bit so you guys can kind of see this. I'm just going to take this off to the side, maybe do it a little bit this way so you guys can see the colors as I put them down. So like I said, this is not a very expensive palette, but is one that I think I will use when I travel and I don't want to take either a really large palette or my more expensive palette with me. This does have a good amount of colors. You got a couple yellows in here. You also have a couple reds. But as you can see, it's very, very vibrant. And you can actually get, I'm just going to put down a dab of water. You can really get a good variation of color out of this. As you can see here, it's very, very strong here. And then you're able to lighten that up a lot with your water. So that is a bonus to this cute little set. So this here is our orange, and I'll do the same thing. I'll go ahead and place down some of that color. As you can see, I have a pretty dry brush. But then I'm just going to add a dollop of water there, kind of pull it in, and then pull out some of that color. So I can get a nice gradation of color with this set. And I think for how inexpensive it was, it's totally a great set to have. So as you can see, I'm just going to go along and just pick up some of these colors. Now obviously, the less water you use, the more vibrant your color is going to be. So now I'm going to go into those reds. And I really love the reds. I really love these. It's a great variety of almost like orangey reds down to blue tone reds, which gives you a nice variation without having to mix your colors. Just going to grab a little bit more water there. Now, if you wanted to, you could mix this palette with water so your colors are already wet. I have a tendency not to do that unless I really know I'm going to be working with that color. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe it's just a Dana-ism. I don't like to pre-wet them. Now that's right now. I might get to a point where I do want to spritz my colors and have them wet and ready to go. Also make sure anytime you're using a palette to make sure you let your paints air dry before you close them up, because you don't want to get mildew. I am going to switch this around so I'm not like crossing over the screen, and then I'm going to go back in and finish making my swatch. So as you can see, the colors are very, very intense. Again, if you don't want to invest in really expensive paints, then I think this is a great way to kind of get started, see what you like. Now, there are some other color palettes out there that are more muted in their tones and don't have such vibrancy, but I didn't have one that really had colors that pop. Like, look at this purple. I mean, how beautiful is that purple? And we're going to have at least 3 shades of that purple. So we're going to have more of a reddy burgundy, and then you're going to really come down to this gorgeous, gorgeous like violet color. And I want to show you on this one as well. I'm just going to add a dollop of water off to the side and then pull out that color. And look at the shades that you can just get from this. It's absolutely gorgeous. Next, I'm going to come in and I'm going to go ahead and do the blue, which is a really soft blue. And a little tip, if you turn around and you put cold on or cool on cool colors on top of each other, you don't have to worry about anything turning too much. So I did get some purple into my blue, but that's okay because I'm not going to get a muddy color over that. And I can just go in with a wet brush and just dab off the color that's actually laying on top, and my watercolor is back to good. I don't concern myself too much with that. So I'm going to lay down one of the blues, and as you can see, you're getting a good variation of colors in this set. All right, so those so far are what I have, and I could say I really, really do love this set. Now let me grab another piece of paper. I already have my paper pre-cut, so I can go ahead and finish my swatching. Now, if you do this, I would tell you to hold on to this. Write your numbers next to the side. If you want to just have this in a bigger color swatch than what this one is here, I will always keep this off to the side, but I do like to just have color swatches out in general that I can see. Okay, I'm going to set that aside, and then we're going to go into our next color. So as I mentioned, there's a great variation of blues in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that out. And then I'm going to start working into some of my greens. This is a gorgeous color here. This one, let me see, this color here, I think is called Turkey Blue. Let's see, is that Turkey Blue? Let me see, I'm in 7. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do this color, which is a gorgeous navy, absolutely gorgeous navy. Look how beautiful that is. And then we're going to go into our Payne's Gray, which this at first was not a favorite color of mine, but it has slowly become one of my favorite colors because it kind of has an undertone of almost a gray undertone, and I don't know if that's why it's called Payne's Gray, but I absolutely love it. Now we're going to go ahead into those greens. And you're going to get some lighter greens that you can use, you know, for nature or your grasses when you're painting. But I also like that you also get a pretty olive out of this. So you're just not limited to those brighter saturated greens. You can also get a nice complex of different shades in this kit. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more water on this one and pull that out. For cost, I think this is a great kit. I think I might have spent, don't quote me on this, I think I want to say I spent maybe $17 on this off of Amazon. So it is a great set to start with until you kind of get used to watercoloring and build up your nerve to venture out into more expensive paints. But look how beautiful that green is. I'm almost done, and I'm going to finish up, I'll put one more down here, finish up my greens. But as you can see, you can get beautiful colors out of just this one kit. All right, I'm going to slide down my paper just a little bit. Sorry for reaching over the camera there. And then look at that green. It's almost like an emerald green. And then I believe this one here is my olive, which would be perfect for fall cards. I have a tendency to kind of watercolor, I guess I should say, like per season. I like to use really, really bright colors during the summer months. And then during the cooler months, I like to add darker tones or more muted, not as vibrant tones. So I'm just going to clean off my brush very well before I start going into my browns. Now, as well as having a good variety of greens, you're also going to get a great variety of browns. So I'm going to pull in some of these so you can really see that concentrated color that we have going on. These colors here just really speak to me of fall colors. Again, you can use these obviously anytime you want, but I have a tendency, like I said, to color by season. So if I was going to be doing trees in spring, let's say, it would probably go with this lighter brown compared to some of the darker browns. I might paint that color and then go in with these darker colors just to deepen it. But I have a tendency, like I said, to kind of go with a seasonal color palette. I'll probably get out of that once I start watercoloring more consistently. But that's kind of just how my mind works right now. So you're going to get really, really deep browns, which are gorgeous. And the more water you add, the more looser your color is going to be, the more diluted your color is going to be. So those are my shades of brown. I really love this one here. That one's very, very pretty. And then I'm just going to go into that lamp black. And I like a really, really strong black that really pops against lighter backgrounds. And this one does. It really does. So I'm just going to wet that up just a little bit. And again, anytime with watercoloring, the more water you add, the lighter your color is going to be. So as you can see, that is a really pretty palette to start off your basic watercoloring. Now, I do have a couple more sets I'm playing with, so I'll be able to share those a little bit later. Again, they're inexpensive sets that you can purchase off of Amazon. The reason I'd like to do these kind of videos is just kind of to share with you what I actually bring into my craft room, and also for opportunity for you to kind of check it out, because it's really different compared to seeing it in a picture on Amazon to actually having it in your craft space. And that's with any medium. It's very different color and tonal and shade wise when it's on a computer screen, and then you get to bring it home and play with it. All right, everybody, that is it for today. I just wanted to share this beautiful color palette. Like I said, it's called Pretty Excellent, and it's off of Amazon. And I will be sure to link how to get this product as well. All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys in another video soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.